Hi, welcome to the Mathemagic channel. Today we look at how we expand brackets in mathematics. If you're just starting algebra or if you're revisiting this topic maybe with your child, then this video is for you. Let's get started. All right, so when would we do this? When would we expand a bracket? Well, quite simply, whenever you see something like 3 and then next to that you see x plus 5, well, this means that we need to do 3 times x plus 5. And so this is a multiplication. And it's important to remember that order of operations is important in math and that you need to do multiplications first. So typically when you see an equation and you see a multiplication, you'll have to do this first. So be aware of the fact that expanding brackets usually happens before anything else. So how do we do that? 3 times x plus 5. Well, 3 times x plus 5 means that we have two elements inside of the bracket and we need to do 3 times x and 3 times 5. So you need to distribute or give the 3 to everyone. So 3 times x, well, that quite simply is going to be 3x, and 3 times 5, well, we know that that is 15. So when you see 3 times x plus 5, you need to expand it and change it to 3x plus 15. If the question's asking you to expand, of course. If you're factorizing, which is going in the other direction, then you don't need to do that. But for today's video, we're looking at expansions, and so we will do 3 times x and 3 times 5. So let's practice this a little bit. Imagine that you have 3 times x minus 5. So we'll have to do 3 times x and 3 times negative 5. So 3 times x again is going to be 3x, as you see in green at the bottom. And now 3 times negative 5, well, you have a positive times a negative. And in mathematics, a positive times a negative is a negative number. So we will have 3x minus 15. Now, if you had 5 times x plus 2, and so I'm not going to write the intermediary step anymore, you can just say that that's 5 times x, which is 5x, and then 5 times 2, which is 10. So we have positive 5x and positive 10 next to each other. Now, a lot of kids sometimes mix this up and say, well, isn't that like 15x or something? No, it's 5 packets of x plus the number 10. So in mathematics, we have packets. And so it's important not to mix the 5x with the 10 and just leave them separate. So this answer is very good, and just leave it like that. That's fine. Okay, so what if you have negative 5 times x plus 2? Well, now we need to think about a negative times a positive. A negative times a positive is negative, so we'll have negative 5x. And then if you do negative 5 times positive 2, same rule applies. A negative times a positive is negative, so we'll have negative 10. Now, if we complicate things a little bit, because mathematics can do that, what if you had 11 times a plus 2b? Well, we'll do 11 times a, which is 11a, and 11 times 2b, which is 22b. So notice here that we had numbers. We have the number 11 and the number 2 in front of b. So we'll do 11 times 2 times b, because 2b means 2 times b, and we're multiplying that by 11. So 11 times 2 is 22. So it's important to start thinking about doing the numbers in front first and then looking at the variables. So here we're looking at 11 times 2 first. Now, this brings me to an interesting little technique that I like to use. I always like to try and help students by saying, don't do too many things at once. If you try to do like every single operation at the same time, you're going to get confused. So whenever you see algebra like that and expansions, first focus on positive or negative. Is your result positive or negative? Then focus on the numbers, and by that I mean the numbers in front of the letters. Like, for example, 11c, well, there's the coefficient 11 in front of c. So when I'm saying numbers, I mean 11, right? And when I look at negative 2b, the number is negative 2, right? And then variables in ABC order, or otherwise in alphabetical order. So we don't say CA, we say AC. And that is standard notation so that everybody in the world who's doing math knows what you're talking about. So if we do this expansion here that's on the screen, we'll have 11c times a. Well, a positive times a positive is a positive. So I just say, I don't need to write positive in front of the number, but I know it's positive. And then if I do the numbers, I'll have 11c and 1a. So 11 times 1 is 11. So that's the numbers, and I've done that. And then I'll do the variables in alphabetical order. I've got a times c or c times a. In alphabetical order, it's ac. And then similarly, if I do positive 11c times negative 2b. Well, positive times negative is negative, so I'm going to put the minus first. And then 11 times 2 for the numbers is 22. And then cb, well, if I put them in alphabetical order, I get bc. So I just reverse that around, and that's how you do that one. So if you follow this technique, it'll be quite easy actually to expand brackets. Like, you won't get confused, your work will be more accurate, and you'll be more certain about your results. Let's see if we can apply this logic to something really hard. Like, if you looked at this question, this is like nuts and insanely difficult. So first of all, we have negative 5a times 2b. Well, a negative times a positive is a negative, so I'm just going to write negative first, minus. And then 5 times 2, that's the numbers, so that's 10. And then a times b for my variables, well, that's ab. Okay, so I've got my first term done. And then a negative times a negative is a positive, so I'll have plus. And then 5 times 12, that's difficult, but if you know your 12 times tables or your 5 times tables, that's 60. Or you can use this trick where when you want to multiply by 5, you divide by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and then you add a 0 behind it, so that is 60. And then for your variables, you have a times bc, so you have abc in alphabetical order. So even though this question looks super hard, if we could spend a long time looking at it and not knowing what to do, but using the right technique, we're okay, right? We just use the technique and we're fine. Okay, so let's see if we can do... Oh, okay, what if we have a times a? So this is a little bit of a special case because it changes things a bit. And I think that that's one of the main difficulties that kids have. So in math, when you do a plus a, think of it like an apple plus an apple, which is 2 apples. So that's nice and easy. When you add a plus a, you get 2a. When you do 3a plus 5a, you get 8a. You can add things like that. That's okay, as long as they're the same. However, when you do an apple times an apple, which is a number times itself, well, in math, when we say something times itself, we say it's squared. And if we do something times itself, we say it's cubed. So make the difference between a plus a, which is 2a, and a times a, which is a squared. And ask yourself that question. Is it a plus scenario or is it a times scenario? And you'll see it here, like we're going to apply that logic right away. Here we have a times a plus 2. And again, I need to do a times a and a times 2. Well, a times a is a squared. And that's where the difference is. And a times 2 is 2a. So now we have a squared plus 2a. And we cannot mix those together because the first packet is 1 packet of a squared and the next packet is 2 packets of a's. You cannot mix a squared with a. So they're separate. You cannot combine those. And this is a good answer for this question. So using the same logic, what if you have something a little bit more difficult, like 3a times 2a? So positive times positive is positive. 3 times 2 is 6. And then a times a is a squared. Now, what if you have positive 3a times negative 2b? Positive times negative is negative. 3 times 2 is 6. And then the variables in alphabetical order, same logic as before, a, b. Now, I hope this was something that made sense to you. And so we can go for this mega, super hard question, which hopefully you'll manage to do now. A negative times a positive is a negative. So we'll put a minus first, and then 5 times 3 is 15. And then I have to do a times ab. Well, a times a is a squared, and then the b is just hanging out. So it's negative 15a squared b. And then for the second term, we'll have a negative times a negative, which is going to give you a positive. 5 times 9 is 45. And then a times a, which is a squared. And so that's how you do that question. Well done. If you managed to do all that, that's fantastic. Okay, so now that you've managed to do all that, let's try some practice questions. So your turn. Now, there's a bunch of questions here. I recommend you try them out. You can pause the video, try them out. You don't need to do all of them. Just do. I'm a big proponent of thinking, do what you need to do until you get it. The moment you get it, maybe do a couple more, like 2 or 3 more, and then you're done. If you don't get it, keep practicing until you're pretty sure about what you're doing. Watch the video again, see some examples again, look for the answer on the internet. But the moment you've mastered the skill, then you're done. You don't need to repeat things that you already know. So if these are too many questions, if there's too many questions here, then don't do all of them, but just do what you need to. And here's some more, but this time they're going to have squares in them. Like in the first question, x times x is x squared, and then x times 2 is 2x. So you can practice these as well. And hopefully by the end of this, you'll be a master of expansions. And that'll be fantastic. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope to see you again on the Mathemagic channel for more math videos. Make sure to like and subscribe so I can post more of these for you. Until next time, make sure you practice your mathematics so you smash it at school, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye-bye.